Screen printing is an art. We get it. No one particular way to do a job. This is just our take on it, with some quick tips to help you elevate techniques while improving efficiency in your shop. All that and add a dash of Business 101, and you've got yourself a series for anyone out there. Press for time.
Hey guys, it's Damien from Dynamic Supply with another episode of Press for Time. We're out here at Workhorse Facilities in Phoenix, Arizona with Tyler, and we're at the Workhorse Factory.
Damien, great having you out. Follow me, let's get this tour started.
Should. All right, Tyler, I don't know what any of this stuff does, but it's super cool.
Okay, it does a lot of stuff. All right, so we're in kind of the heart of the factory here, the machine shop, we can call it. So you can see behind us here, we've recently brought in 5 new CNC machines. So we've got one of the newer ones behind us. And what we're doing here is we are milling, fabricating everything that has to have really tight tolerances. So as you know, on an automatic, everything has to be so in tune to hold that perfect registration, etc. So we are doing a lot of detailing, high tolerance machining of raw materials or metal stuff in this particular area of the shop.
So important to keep in-house instead of farming this out is to control those controls for the
another
tolerances.
control here, yeah, and to have these type of machines is perfect for holding tight tolerances that make everything come together seamlessly.
Awesome, great. Well, let's move on, let's check out what's next.
All right.
Okay, so Tyler, we came out of the machine shop. We're in kind of the main floor of the factory at this point, and this looks similar to the machines we saw in there. What do we got going here?
Yep, exactly. We're just on a little bit of extension of the machine shop here. So a similar type of machine, just a bigger version of it. All right, a saber to the Freedom Express, if you will.
Got it.
Okay, so this area is all for making the center turret of the machines. Okay, the area that is going to index, hold the print arms, go up and down, etc. So we need a bigger version of what we had in there to do a little bit bigger job.
Some of the heavier metal grades and stuff for the load-bearing components?
Absolutely, yeah. So we're dealing with much heavier pieces here, so hence a little bit bigger piece of equipment. All of it comes in some raw state, gets cleaned up, stiffed up, dialed in, ready to go on press. Here's a good example of maybe a piece that hasn't been milled or machined yet. So you can see it has almost a rougher look to it, almost rusty. And you can see what it looks like coming out of one of the machines.
So this is kind of the combined end product for the turret that's going on the autos.
It's almost to the end product. You're right there. So this machine will work its way into there and then get some of the fine tuning done to it. You know, we'll put in some threading for attachments to go on it, and then it'll work its way out of this area and onto another part in the building.
Man, a lot of heavy lifting to print some t-shirts.
No doubt, yeah, definitely is.
All right, I love it. I'm excited. What's next?
All right. We're sitting here at basically our laser cutting station. It's a little bit away from our machine shop, but this is a little closer to where the raw goods are coming in. All right, so we can take big slats, as you can see here, of sheet metal, and we can very, very precisely, shape it, cut out what we need. So this machine here cuts in a couple of different forms. On some of the thinner pieces like this, we're going to use, basically air to make the cut. Some of the heavier stuff we'll use an oxygen-based system to cut it. So very, very cool piece of equipment for how little waste it can produce and how precise it can form some of the pieces that we need.
And that little waste, that kind of plays into what we were talking about earlier, how you guys have added a lot of efficiencies and things, both to be green and do the right thing, but also helps keep the cost down, which helps you keep the jobs here in the States.
Yeah, truly a trickle-down effect, okay? To manufacture in the U.S. at the scale we're doing, more and more difficult to do, all right? To do that, then to bring a product to the market that is priced, where it needs to be competitive there, to keep the workforce here. We are constantly reviewing what we can do to be greener, what we can do to be more efficient, to keep the processes here. So this is a great example. We have less waste, we're getting tighter tolerances. Even looking around the building, it's bright where we're standing right here.
Yeah.
Hardly light on in the plant.
Right, so you guys added all the skylights and everything?
Put all the skylights in, exactly correct.
I think this is so far my favorite thing.
Yeah, it's very cool.
My kid would love
this one when they come in, yeah.
All right, awesome.
Yep.
Well, let's move on to the next thing. I can't see what's
good.
next.
All right.
right, Tyler, I don't even want to know what's going on back here, but I see some giant ovens. Looks like this is where we're handling all the powder coating.
Again, right on the money. So everything in here is kind of bringing all the powder coat, you know, coming together here. We're basically behind us right now. What we're doing is we're preparing the metal, all right, or preparing the substrate. We're getting it cleaned off, we're getting it rinsed off, we're getting it ready to work its way into the booth where it is going to be totally clean, flat surface, ready for the powder coat to go on there. And then obviously the ovens here are curing that. So real similar, you know, to maybe a screen print application, all right? You've got your plastisol ink or whatnot that goes on your shirt, and until that goes through your oven and gets it to a certain degree, it smears, etc. Powder coat, somewhat similar. You've got a very finely ground powder or plastic coating that we're gonna put on the metal here, run it through the oven for a set amount of time at a set temperature, and then it bonds that to the metal.
Okay, so why powder coating versus painting?
Powder coat is a much more durable surface than putting a paint on metal. So if you were to get a hit or hit it or ding it in some fashion, it won't start flaking all off. You can almost dent the powder coat with the metal and not causing it to flake off.
So it helps protect that raw steel.
Absolutely.
Makes the press more durable.
Absolutely more durable, inhibits the rust from forming, all of that stuff. Everything of ours that you see color on is getting done right here.
Nice. In-house.
In-house, you got it.
All right, next up, I think we're gonna start looking at some presses being put together, my favorite part.
All right,
so
yeah,
move
sounds
on.
good. We're putting it all together.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so Tyler, it looks like we're in the home stretch here. We're in the assembly area, and kind of by a happy coincidence, this press right here, I actually sold to one of my customers at the ISS Long Beach show. So it's kind of cool being able to come out, see the actual
That one's
press
got your
I sold.
name on it.
No, it's really cool. I like that because I know the guy I'm selling this press to, he's making his living standing at this press, you know, feeding family, roofs over their head, all that stuff. And you know, at Dynamic, we take that serious, and I know you guys do too. So I love the idea that I'm coming out, jump in my car, a few hours later I'm here, I'm seeing the actual press my customer's gonna buy. Kind of plays back to that American made thing we talked about.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, it's a lot of people supporting each other. We've got our people here making a living on this press. I'm making my living on it, you're making yours on it. You know, there's a lot of people, you know, coming together that are going to benefit from that, and that goes a long way with what we're trying to do here. But you're right, we're at the home stretch here. Okay, this is the last these machines are going to see the inside of our building before they ship off and go to somebody else's. So all of the parts that we've looked at throughout the tour via powder coat, the machine shops, all those different parts are now coming together here where you see a true final build of a press from ground up. So we're going to do our final calibration here, make sure everything's dialed in, we'll index it, we'll do a look over, we'll put it in a crate, and it goes to a customer.
So the next place this machine will be is in somebody's shop with somebody standing there making a living at it.
Absolutely correct. Yep, it'll go from here to a crate to California to your guy.
Nice. Well, I know I learned a lot being out here. I hope you guys did too. I think you can see maybe a lot more than you think goes into making a press, and therefore kind of can see maybe some of the differences between some of the other product out there. And that's important because you want to buy it right, buy it once. And so I think it's nice to have some background on how these things are made and who's making your equipment. So we're getting ready to pack up, head back to California. I want to thank the ProQuoter guys for coming out. We had a great time. Tyler and Workhorse for their hospitality, having us out. We had a great time and we learned a lot.
Pleasure's all mine. Enjoy having you guys out here. And now it's time for you guys to leave because I need to get back to work.
All right. Wrap it up, guys.
This episode of Press for Time has been brought to you and powered by Dynamic Screen Printing Supply and by Workhorse Products, and produced by ProQuoter. Remember, it all starts with the quote.
We're out in Phoenix, Arizona with Tyler from Workhorse, and look at these guys cracking up. They're looking out the window cracking up. I look over and they go, oh, he's looking.